Hello, Taos residents, locals, and my fellow taoseños y taoseñas. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. I hope you're doing well and enjoying the moisture that Taos has received the last few weeks. As you know, Election Day is right around the corner, and I want to thank you for taking interest in investigating others' opinions during this time to help you make a decision on who to vote for. This is a follow-up to my first video, which is titled Whaley-Out Taos Politicos. The purpose of the Whaley-Out video was to generate conversations within our community, and I believe that it has done just that. I did do a live video on my Facebook page in response to the comments made the first week of my video being out. The link for that page is also in the description below. I do miss the days in Taos when neighbors used to talk to neighbors and have real conversations with one another. I do hope that those days in Taos will return. Maybe they already are. There were a few not so kind comments shared. I did not include them. I'll let their words speak for themselves. I was raised by two artists. I am well aware of the creative process. I will email you soon. Perhaps we can collaborate and you can do your very own soapbox rant. Michael and I have had some wonderful conversations, and I am very grateful that he shared his thoughts. They can't vote, but what they have shared matters too. I am uncertain who the belligerent agorist is, but I appreciate your comment and well wishes. This is all a work in progress, but I appreciate that my efforts were recognized, and I know I will improve, but for now it will do. Gary Storch also shared some thoughts. I have known him most of my life as I grew up with his daughter. He remembers the Taos I do, I am sure. Though I will never be who Bill was, I hope to keep his memory alive as he was, in my book, one of the iconic people of Taos. Liz Fox shared a similar sentiment as Gary. Thank you, Mama, for all your support. I love you. You gave so many years in support of Horsefly with Bill, and I thank you for your example and for being my mama. I will kindly agree to disagree, and I will share my personal reasons for supporting who I am shortly. I did share the Whaley-Out video in many Taos Facebook groups, and the response and comments were pretty interesting and pretty diverse. I want to share those with you today. I don't know any of the following commenters personally, but have expressed some of the same things I have observed and agree with. Maybe not all of it, but the majority, which is why I am sharing. And yes, I know that you can't believe everything you read on the internet. Still a 50-50 chance it's true though. And look, here we are, sharing experiences and information to allow us to make an informed vote. I want to share Mark Germany's response to Dawn's comment, as I think he shares a perspective I don't see many sharing. The last commenter is probably where I'm going to lose some of you, but hear me out, please. This gentleman gets a lot of flack for the things he shares. People do the usual of bashing his character instead of just saying they don't agree with what he shared. A not so kind trend I see happening a lot these days. Virtual bullying is real, y'all. Anyhow, he does raise some valid points and ones I hadn't considered but think many would agree with. I have attended many of the roundtable discussions that happen on Wednesday nights at Casa Benavides. Marilyn, a fellow member of the roundtable discussion, shared with our group the following letters. She spent much time researching and organizing her thoughts as well and submitted them to the Taos News, and though they were not published, I offered to share them for her because the information should be made available. I thank you, Marilyn, for the time you spent putting these letters together. I am grateful to have this platform and opportunity to help you express your concerns to many more in this community. This is my last-ditch effort to shed some light on others' interactions and experiences with some of these candidates. Again, I cannot stress enough how important it is to be able to distinguish between someone's character, their personality, and their reputation. All of these help us determine if they are someone we want to support. And yes, even people who don't agree with us, their experiences and thoughts matter too. If after watching this video you have a change of heart, that's okay. Healthy people change their mind when presented with new information. This very thing happened during a town hall discussion. One of the couples in the audience decided to change who they were supporting. They sent an email to the roundtable group, and because I was taken back by what they shared, I am not going to read it here. But I am sharing the following email responses because these people's thoughts and experiences line up with my own. Hello, everyone. My friend and I are sticking strongly by Pascual. We have done our due diligence. I personally have been involved in this process for 2 years now, interviewing everyone who even breathed the words, "I want to run for mayor or council." I was approached over a year ago to support Pascual by local business owners and taoseños, to which I replied that I would not support anyone until I had done my homework. You both have been to 2 meetings in the beginning, I believe before last week, and may not be aware that every single candidate, both mayoral and council, except for Dan, has sat at our table, and we as a group have made the decision to support Pascual. You may also be unaware that Genevieve made women cry and leave the meeting while she was there, and reported to her big money donor that she was, in quotes, ambushed by the 8 people at that meeting. Do we want to support someone who can't handle herself with 8 people in the room? I know her donor, who has touted in a room full of at least 12 others besides myself that Genevieve is his rabbit, and she will do anything he tells her to do. His words. He is a Texas developer who was also involved in getting Jessica to run for council. I am very upset that he is using and talking about 2 of our locals in this way, so he can position himself in a place of power. Perhaps she is his rabbit, and he knows that by supporting her, it will split our votes, and then Baroni will be back in, and they can develop to their heart's content. There are so many things to look at and many things happening in Taos that need the attention of someone who knows the underlying workings of our town. Pascual has done a lot more in his tenure as councilman than you may be aware of, and in our minds, my friend and I's, we feel he is our only choice. My father, who has lived in Taos his whole life, agrees that Pascual is the best person for the job. And as much as I am a supporter of women, I won't vote for someone just because she is a woman, and especially in this election. Genevieve has been approached by many of us that have tried to get her to run for council because we would have supported her, and that would have been a great starting point for her. Thank you for your thoughts, but we are sticking with Pascual. I thank you, Ruth Ann, for sharing your thoughts, experiences, and providing the space for the roundtable discussions to happen. Alana and her partner Chris shared the following response as well. I appreciate your efforts in being involved in this community. The next email will remain anonymous as I did not receive permission to share it from them, but do appreciate their viewpoint. And last but not least, our woman water warrior of Taos, Petra Quintana, and her husband David Rael were also so very open and honest about their experiences. I want to thank everyone who commented on all these platforms and everyone who shared the original Whaley-Out video. I thank the ones who have taken opportunities to share their experiences with their neighbors, friends, and colleagues. If you are enjoying this video so far, please give it a like and subscribe to the Miss P YouTube channel. You can also follow me on my Miss P Facebook page. I wasn't initially going to endorse who I am supporting, but I want to now. I know that to get back the Taos that so many have known and loved for many, many moons, it is going to take teamwork. So naturally, I would choose to support people who are stepping up and joining forces as a team. I am supporting Pascual y Correlia for leadership roles in local government. I appreciate and respect the way they have been campaigning. They exemplify teamwork. Correlia is actively responding on Facebook to concerned members of the community. I helped her campaign by making phone calls and had some wonderful discussions during that time. Both of them are all about connecting with and talking to the community, conversations that go deeper than getting your vote. I also feel that my generation who, like myself, have ventured into the world to gain experience and for our own reasons returned to Taos, we have come home to a place we really no longer recognize and feel heartbroken to what has been lost. The magic of Taos is fading and its spirit is being snuffed out by greed and deep pockets. We are the ones with the passion to bring back Taos to its people, and we deserve the chance to restore what we and so many others have loved for generations. I voted on Friday and was number 649, which I will always remember because I know the importance of this election. I believe I cast an informed vote and am thankful for the conversations I have shared with many during this election. I want to share the last in-depth conversation I had with a complete stranger via Facebook. This gentleman is a taoseño, but returned after being gone for 30 years. He would visit often and saw some of the changes that were slowly happening in Taos. He is very happy to be back, but because of his experience upon moving back, he decided not to support Baroni because of his stance on Airbnbs. This man lived for 4 months in a hotel because the housing crisis was just as bad as it is now, and finding a place to live proved more difficult than he anticipated. And he knew something wasn't right. He originally was going to support Genevieve because he liked her ideas, but after I shared with him where I stand and upon doing his own investigation, he decided she was no longer who he wanted to support. I thank you, gentlemen, for hearing me out, for taking my thoughts and feelings into consideration, and for giving me the opportunity to have an open and honest conversation. The following are some of the things I shared with him. I left at 19 and returned at 24. I want to say I know this town a bit better than some because I've only been absent 5 years. I am happy you are glad you moved back. I am glad you are voting, even if I don't agree with who. I am still glad you are involved. We can agree to disagree, but again, I really hope you take into account and consider what I have shared. I have seen Taos change a lot, but not much of the change has been good, and this is an extremely important decision for Taos's future. I lived in the caboose, which I own, by the blinking light for 3 years. I have had many sleepless nights stressing about where I can live since returning from school, so I can relate to the housing issues that you faced. Dan is a good guy, but he sold out and is more interested in expanding Taos instead of taking care of the people here. I full-heartedly supported Mayor Baroni his first election. Looking back now, had I known he would sell Taos out like he has, I wouldn't have, and I was wrong. But because of that, I don't take this lightly. I am as involved as I can be, but like I said, I talk to people, I listen, and I pay attention to character, personality, and reputation, and I don't take politics as loosely as I once did. I don't know Genevieve personally. I don't have anything against her, but I don't think she has the experience. The guy backing her is really only doing it so he can use her as a puppet. He can come in from Texas with big money and overdevelop Taos. I don't trust him. Think she is in it for the attention and as an ego boost, not to better the community. I understand you liking her ideas, and I'm glad you recognize that politicians can be convincing. I'm not a politician, but I understand politics and I understand people, and I am going to strongly encourage you not to support Genevieve. But I see through her, and she still has a lot of work to do on herself before I could support her for mayor. She needs experience, and Taos needs a mayor with that experience. If you don't know how the game is played, you can have all the ideas in the world, and none of them come to fruition unless you have understanding and honesty. The last tidbit I would like to share was sent to me after I cast my vote, and it just reaffirmed why I voted the way I did. I raised my eyebrows pretty high and would not want someone with this attitude to be making decisions on my behalf. All my life, Anglos have been the minority in this community, and the Hispanic and Native American culture have been here the longest and deserve more respect than this statement suggests. It is confidential because it is hearsay, but if it is true, which I have no doubt that it is, I trust my sources. I may be first-generation taoseña, but if I wasn't and heard this for myself, I would also be quick to want to discourage support from such a person. If I was a generational member of this community, this comment would hurt me very deeply and make me question the understanding this candidate has of the very community they wish to serve. Dustin Sweet is a cool dude. I like that he doesn't sugarcoat everything. He is honest, and I personally think he is doing it just to be the guy people don't want in charge, as a means to get people to vote. If that is the case, good on him for getting people to the polls. He would be my first choice if I didn't know Pascual and what he stands for. I am supporting Pascual and Cordelia because they are about the community and giving the voice back to the people who live here full time. They both listen well and know it isn't just one person calling the shots. It takes a team of mature individuals to be able to make things happen in this community. Pascual isn't in it for the money. He has served people all his life. Pascual is the only one that I know who believes in transparency. He is the only one who has made his finances available and the only one not money-driven. Well, I don't think Sweet is. He's an artist and educator. You can't be either of those and be money-driven. And Pascual has asked me to Whaley him out if he isn't living up to his words. If he is open to me bashing him, if he slips up, he's in it for the right reasons. He is what Taos as a whole needs right now. And believe me when I say that I will be calling out whomever the new administration will be. Mental health is important. The environment, from recycling to water, is important. Our culture, traditions, and way of life aquí in Taos are important. This town is losing its spirit and its magic and becoming like everywhere else, and that is not the Taos I want to live in. But the Taos that I know and love is worth fighting for. I do love this town. I love that I can say I was born and raised here. I left for 5 years and couldn't wait to get back because what the world outside of here lacks, Taos has always given. I also will be making the soapbox available to others who want to voice their opinions, experiences, thoughts, and feelings about what they see happening in this community, society, and our country. It is time to let our voices be heard. It is time to take action and be the change we want to see in the world. Now more than ever, we need to put our differences aside and unite for the good of all mankind. Please take the time to cast an informed vote. Please vote Taos. Vote for community, quality of life, culture, tradition. Vote for the future of Taos to maintain what makes this community so unique. I thank you for watching this video and taking the time to inform yourself. Remember, be kind, smile, and stay hydrated. Bye.